melody. I hear that haunting melody. It's in my every. It says we'll never part. Can't you see that we can spend eternity? Our lives were really meant to be together from the start. No one else could fill my life with ecstasy. No one else, it seems, could make me care. What is left is just a memory that's so empty and so unfair. Melody, I'll write another melody, and this time from the start you'll see I'll write it from the heart. And words that say, come to me, stay with me. Won't you stay with me? No one else could fill my life with ecstasy. No one else, it seems, could make me care. What is left is just a memory that's so empty and so unfair. Melody, I'll write another melody, and this time from the start you'll see I'll write it from the heart. And words that say, come to me. Words that say, come to me, stay with me. Won't you stay with me? Stay with me.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Alright, now live from Boca Raton. Here you go with Mr. Dawn and Freddie S. Ready? I still gotta work on that.
A little bit. Happy
Sounds
Thursday
it
to
sounds
you.
like a muffler that needs to be repaired.
It sounds like Josh has been on vacation for 4 days. I don't
tell
know.
you. But I had a concept, and we're gonna work on it. And there should have been a camera on him and everything else. But it's okay. No good. No problem.
You know what happens? You sit in your
Here we go.
cocoon,
There
and
we
you
go.
think we all read your mind.
What are you talking about? He knows exactly what I want to do.
How do you know he knows that? Have you communicated it with him? Have you shared your feelings?
Yes,
Have
and not
you-
only that, don't go too far because we're gonna bring him back. We're gonna get this right
Okay.
because you know what happens July 21st.
I think it's the J.C. Dreesen concert. Yes.
That's right, and you know what's happening this Friday.
This Friday you're doing a sound check for the J.C.
9
Dreesen.
o'clock
That's
at night.
tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow night.
Have
we're
you
gonna go
told
there.
our
I told
sound
Josh.
people and
I
our
told
crew?
Garcia.
Are they in?
Whoever
late?
wants to
You
go,
gonna
they're
give them
all
dinner?
in. What?
Going to give them dinner?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Dawn.
Nope.
I'll get him pizza tomorrow night before we go
Okay.
from
Pizza Rica.
Pizza Rica.
Sounds good to me.
Yes, you did.
I was going to say, does Josh even know?
And Josh,
Did
you
agree
gotta
to
sign
that?
up for tomorrow because you're the one doing the production. You and Teddy and Garcia.
Teddy's going out to Miami Swim Week.
Well, that just changed. That just changed. She's going to swim week.
Teddy's going to Swim Week. 2 people yesterday asked us if we would cover Swim Week, and one of them comes from you.
Yeah.
And
we
the other
got
one was an
tickets.
old producer that came in, but she told us it was the 14th,
And we got the.
and you were thinking it's the 7th.
They tell me it's tomorrow. I don't think it's tomorrow, but I'm gonna. It is tomorrow.
tomorrow?
At 7:30, we're gonna be down representing at swim week.
I mean, she's got to leave now. I mean, to get to South Beach on a Friday at 7:30 for Swim Week? Seriously?
Teddy goes, I guess I won't be in tomorrow. I said, no,
See?
you'll leave at 2 o'clock. You'll get it there by 7:30.
100%.
She's gonna take Michael and somebody else.
Okay, nice.
But we'll have some representation down there, and we gotta test the soundboard. It's gonna take all of 20 minutes to
Tell
test
me-
the sound.
Tell me 3 hours.
I lie. I exaggerate.
See
the
what
truth.
happens? You guys see what I go through? Rich is like, I don't even know what to tell you. This is what it comes down to.
First of all, I
no
don't.
more days off for
Frank,
you.
Frank, I look at him. I says, "You're gonna work with this guy. You gotta work with that guy over there. That
They
guy
at least got him
is.
dressed to come here today, which was big.
He's on the border of crazy and OCD-ish, whatever that's called.
I'm all over the map.
He's everywhere.
They're gonna scream Mike in about 2 seconds.
He's like E.F. Hutton.
No, that's
who's,
Frank. He's our soothsayer.
No. Who's the guy when you speak, everybody listens?
E.F. Hutton or
that-
Frank. Like my dream, I told you.
No. Frank doesn't say much.
He doesn't
As
have
a matter
to.
of fact, I'm getting to a point that
He doesn't have to, because what he says, we know we gotta listen.
every time I hear Frank speak, I worry now. It's like Linda Summers. Every time I see Linda Summers, there's a hurricane coming. She only shows up when there's a hurricane. Right? She walks in with the dog, and she says, "Hurricane coming," and everything goes to pot. So when Frank says something,
You gotta
I look
listen.
around and make sure I'm still gonna be around for the next couple of minutes.
We've got Carolina joining us today of the Mindset for Success show, who she's always smiling, doing her thing. Are you guys doing a show tonight too?
Yes.
Yes, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock?
It's a taping, and do we have something at 5 o'clock?
No,
We don't have
do not.
nothing.
not tonight.
Okay. So let's open up with
Next week.
Carolina.
Oh, let's open up with Carolina. Next week we do. You guys at 5 o'clock for the Artist Loft next week? 5:30?
5:30.
5:30.
But wait a minute, we'll get to that. I want to keep people a little suspense here.
Okay.
Take it easy. Take it easy. I want to ask him who set up that little logo with the mic and all that. But before we go there, I want to talk to Carolina because you had a special person on the show today.
Yes.
I thought she was coming in because I wanted to meet her.
Yes. She was coming in because she was planning to come to Florida to have a 4th of July weekend with her family, but plans changed. And she lives in Washington, D.C., so we have to do it.
And what
Okay.
was her background? What is it that she does? Who are we talking about?
Yeah, she's been in education for more than 10 years. She's a teacher, but she's also a coach. So she helps teachers to be successful in what they do. So how to be a better teacher and everything. And that also now she's doing a program for women to improve their success and reduce burnout. Because she noticed that what happened to teachers happened in all other areas of your life, especially for women. So it was a really good conversation.
And what was her name?
Her name is Jennifer Fontaine.
Now it's interesting because I read the part about how she trains teachers and their careers get elongated
Yeah.
because everybody in my family was a teacher. My sister, my aunts, everybody. For some reason, I don't know why. Put them all together, you could barely fill a
Me,
room.
my daughter, keep going. You forget that. You guess really?
What?
Huh?
Your daughter? Yes. You're not a teacher.
Really?
When were you a teacher?
Before I met you.
Certified teacher.
Yes.
Where?
At Easter Seals and in Dallas.
You were a teacher, like a classroom teacher?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Rich.
What does Easter?
please-
Wait a minute.
share
What? Did you
whatever.
know that?
How would he know? You've worked with me for 7.5 years.
I don't know your shoe size either. I don't know.
You should have let me say that I knew all about it, and
you
just
go.
to mess with him.
What does Easter Seals have to do with anything?
Easter Seals is a school for special needs.
I thought Easter Seals is when you stuck a stamp on
Yes,
something
and you make
buy
a
for them.
donation, just like to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and the money goes to help.
So you were a
those with
teacher
special
there?
Needs. Yes.
You were real. What grade?
At
I'm
Easter
s-
Seals, it was early childhood intervention. In Dallas, it was K through 5.
No, I know that you went to school for early childhood. I know that, but I didn't know you taught.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Now we know.
Now you know, so I'm really interested in this
Well,
conversation.
does anybody here know that she was a teacher? Anybody? I'll give you $1 if you knew this. I know you 7 years. Have never brought up the subject that you were a teacher.
What do you think? I just went to school because I had nothing better to do?
Well, I went to school because I had nothing better to do. He went to school because he had nothing better to do.
No, I did.
So anyway, so as you could tell, everybody around me has been a teacher.
Yeah.
And I was interested in the fact that how you can change the landscape to keep teachers motivated
Yeah.
to stay being a teacher. Because it is the worst
Yeah.
job
Yes.
in the history of the planet because there's no appreciation for it.
But you stay for the kids.
Yes, and they love it so much. That was part of what she was explaining before, was that they love it so much, but at some point they are not appreciated in so many ways that many people, give up. And her goal is to make people not only to feel the passion, but succeed at that.
Is
Because
she a
it's-
teacher?
Yes,
And she's in D.C.?
yes.
And some of the teachers that I know, I got somebody who's a teacher now that he loves helping the younger minds. He's a math teacher,
He's a
but
math
he
teacher,
wants to
so-
teach at a different, more appreciative environment, because the environments have become very difficult
Yeah.
to be a teacher. You sort of have to fit in to the environment as well, and because of the way his persona is. It's difficult to do that nowadays. So being a teacher is one set of rules. Being a good teacher in different hostilities, different environments, is another set of rules. And growing up in the Bronx, I sort of know a little bit about that hostility that happens with certain teachers. And I remember growing up that they used to make fun of certain teachers because they were very intelligent and they just didn't fit in. They didn't fit into this loosey-goosey environment, and they used to take advantage of these teachers. They used to pelt them with garbage. They used to mess up their cars. It was really hostile. So I wanted to talk to her as how do you change the landscape so that teachers that are not feeling appreciated, not feeling the environment, how do you keep them in there?
Yeah, well, based on the conversation that we have today at the show, she was telling that success comes from within, and that's the first thing, right? Is not looking for approval all the time, but once you understand that this is my purpose, this is my priority, this is what I want to do, then you are able to fulfill anything that you need to do because you do it with love. What happened is that at some point, she was saying that many people is like, there is a point of no return when you say, no, this is it. I cannot keep doing this because they lose the passion. They lose the connection within.
And I think a lot of problems with Florida is they pay so low for teacher salaries here in
Yeah.
Florida. My daughter's moving to D.C. to a special school to work there while she goes to grad school. And the pay is significantly higher than it is in Florida. The public schools in Washington, D.C. compared to the public schools here,
Big difference, yes.
it's double.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference if you're willing to leave Florida and go to another state. I think New York, but New York has taxes and everything else that they pay more. DC does not have the taxes. So it'd be interesting to find out where she's teaching and what she's doing there.
I don't remember the name, but we can get you in contact with her so you can just have a
But
chat.
you stay for the kids.
Yes,
You don't
you stay
stay
for the kids.
for anything else. You don't stay for the administration. You stay because you love what you do and you know you're making a difference in their
Yes.
lives. Because sometimes you're the only connection to these kids. And if
Yes.
you're working in a school like here where it's Title I, where you're going to school for breakfast and you're going to school for lunch and your parents are both working, or you're a single parent and that parent has 3 jobs to keep food on the table and you got a key and you're in aftercare, your teachers in that school system is the only lifeline you have to life, to keeping you off the streets.
Yeah, but the funny thing is they don't do anything in the system to keep the teachers. You know, man, they have that thing where every kid has to graduate or it's the teacher's fault. I mean, there's so many different variables that to stay focused in that field, to stay there and be abused and constantly take the abuse is, again, one of the things that we talked on the morning show. It doesn't make sense how we treat teachers. It's just,
Oh, it doesn't make sense how we treat people.
yeah, but teachers are supposed, you got to think of something. You know, a lot of people have 2 jobs and they leave the kids in school. So they don't care really what's going on as long as somebody's watching the kids and allegedly they're learning and they're growing up and they're in this whole sophisticated, controlled environment, right? But the teachers then have to put up with being a parent. They got to put up with being a teacher. They got to put up with all the guidelines. And sometimes teachers don't fit into the equation of that particular school, and nothing's done to support them. And then you want the Board of Education to be successful. So they give you a test and everybody fails. Why? I don't know. Guess.
Well, what did she talk about? How does she help?
Well, she has a specific program where she combines practicality with different tools and spirituality, because she thinks that it's really important to be aligned with yourself, with God, with whatever you believe, to be able to move forward, to be able to pursue your purpose in life. So she has this program, and one of the interesting things that she was saying is that she teach people to start getting out of generalizations, like, because everybody says, I want to be happy, but what is happiness for you? So she teach each one of the person who passed through her program to have different concepts that they can support with their values, so they can make them their own. So in that way, they feel always motivated. So the motivation comes from within instead of from without.
A lot of good coaching programs. But it's hard. I was talking to the guys about online coaching programs.
Yes.
You still need to have some sort of connection with people when you do online coaching,
Yeah.
which is what's so nice about when you're here or when people get to see you, because there's nothing like body language,
Yes.
seeing someone face to face. There's a lot we can do online, but sometimes you just need that human connection.
Yeah, yeah. From my point of view, the best combination is yes, you can do many things online, but the connection is really important too. So you have to find different ways to connect.
I don't think you can learn online. I'm sorry. I don't think so. You know, there's nothing like being in that environment and you got your students, you got your peers, you got all sorts of things working for you. And to be online is like, it just doesn't do it. I've seen it. I've seen kids in here, in school, and they're running around doing all sorts of things. And I look and I go, I could not learn that way. I cannot. I don't feel any juice in doing it that way. This is like regurgitating something somebody else ate. I don't, yeah, I know. You were a teacher?
Well, do you know what? I think it also depends on what you're teaching
Yes.
online. Because I teach acting online, and I've taught it in person as well. And the energy is definitely different when you're teaching in person.
Hold on a second. Do we have them on the right mic? Or are we using, what mic are we using?
Oh, they told me I could use either one.
Oh, okay.
So.
I just want to make sure that everybody gets this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, the energy is definitely different.
What
but
about-
you have certain opportunities when you teach online. Like, I had a couple of students from South Africa that I would not have been able to teach if I had to go there in person, right? It would have been a hell of a commute, right?
But let me ask you about the growth of the person you're teaching. I can understand another country, acceptable. But if they're in Florida and you're doing it online, do you ever get to see the growth
Yes.
of the kid that you're teaching?
you actually can. And I almost don't want to say this, but I'm a damn good acting teacher, right? And so I know how to relate to the kids and stuff like that. I work with adults as well. But my mom was an educator for many, many, many years. So I learned a lot from her as well on how to relate to kids. Now, there are some things that you just simply cannot do online. Improv games, for example. You can't do those things online. You know, it's very, there are some games you can play, but in person is definitely better. But I have actually seen growth. I have this one girl that I started working with her when she was like 6, and she recently turned 9, and it wasn't until a few months ago that I got to meet her in person. But this little girl is booking all the time now. I mean, she's constantly booking. Another girl that I was working with, not doing anything. Now she's booking. So it can be done, but I get the whole vibe thing in person. It's definitely better in person.
But there's different things. There's different approaches. There's different curriculums. It just depends on the person, the teacher, and the curriculum.
Yeah.
But to keep someone motivated to keep going, you have to be that much better as an online teacher than even a classroom teacher, because you have to be able to keep them engaged and keep your students motivated to push forward.
Yeah, especially when you're doing something like script analysis.
Oh my gosh.
I usually do that with adults and teens. But that can, because now you're looking at like, well, why did the screenwriter, why did he use this particular word in this instance? And how would your action be? How does this help your character? So yeah, you have to work hard to keep them motivated, because they can see your energy in person, right? It's totally different as opposed to seeing them, in a little box that's about, this big, right?
What's the name of Julie Andrews? No, what's the name? Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts with the red hair.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, Pretty Woman and.
So, what they used to do in the Village when I was going to NYU is the actors and actors used to come in, and they used to sit a seminar in special classes, with huge places, and they would talk about acting. Now, I didn't go to NYU to become an actor, but I took one semester because my professor told me that I should be doing this crap. I should be in front of a camera, because he thought that I used to ad-lib.
And here you are.
And I never in a million years ever planned on doing this, but I got to see her sit among about 75, 100 people showed up at this thing. And she was talking about how to act for tryouts, for casting.
Yeah, auditions, yeah.
Auditions, which I didn't know was a science. I had no idea, and he's nodding at me,
Yeah.
that to do a casting, there's a science behind this thing.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a science to even getting a job at Disney World?
Yeah, I
If
could
you
see that.
actually study what you need to study, there's a science to everything. You need to know what to say, how to present yourself for the job or the career, right, or the role that you're looking
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, even little things, like one of the things that I've told my students for auditions, is a lot of times you'll get a reader that is reading the other part, opposite you. And, they're sitting there reading the thing, and I always tell them, have the reader stand up, because it changes your sight line. Because you're naturally going to look at the other person. Well, if they're sitting down, then your sight line goes down, and on camera, it looks like your eyes are closed. So yeah, so little things like that,
Well, the funny thing is that she had people read. So I'm hearing people read. And I'm saying, when does the acting start? And they're just reading it clearly. It looks like they wanted to pronunciate every freaking word. So she's sitting there and she's giving them, tips and stuff like that. And I stood up and I says, I don't get it. And she says, I'm sorry, you don't get what?
You said that to Julia Roberts?
Yeah, and I said, I don't get what we're doing here. I says, this is the worst acting I've ever seen. If this is acting, is this the way it's supposed to be? And she says to me, well, why don't you show us how you're supposed to do it? So I had heard it like 50 times, whatever the hell they were talking about. And I don't remember what it was. It was just some stupid part. And she says, and she gave me the paper to read. I says, I'm not going to read it. You know me, I can't read. So I just ad-libbed it. And I included her in the ad-libbing. So I turned it around into just saying something, into asking questions and saying it. And she starts to laugh. And she says, I guess you get it. I still don't get it. I don't get it. So acting, there are certain actors that do. Leonardo DiCaprio, he doesn't act. He just is himself. So he sort of talks about how if he had to be on a big ship, he knows what that's like. If he had to run, he does it like he used to do it as a kid. He doesn't act. He sort of tries to mimic the lines and gets close and they go from there. So Clem was talking about that the other day. In Bronx Tale, none of those guys remember lines. Al
Did
Pacino
they
was
meet
around.
Clem?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
you were here when he was
yeah,
here?
we met him. Yeah.
So they were talking about going back and forth. But what I'm saying is that online, in person, like if somebody were to meet you, until they meet you and you do the way you do what you do, because I've been around how you do it, they don't get that online.
Yeah,
You
but
may-
after meeting me,
you
they
may-
end up in therapy for 6 months.
You may think they do,
But it broadens your ability to reach more people by doing it online.
Yeah.
Because
but it's not creative enough. You want to be the best at what you want to do?
it depends. I think you need a mixed approach. Like this lady in her program, she's
Get
in
me 2
DC.
batteries.
Unless she's really in Washington D.C. Anyone else, then it doesn't work.
But this is, you see, the conversation we're having is some of the questions I wanted to ask her. I mean, acting to me is, because to be online, you're going to have to want it, you're going to have to be there, you're going to have to come with it. It's like when I met you, and you said to me that you wanted to do this in English and Spanish. And I said to myself, well, that's different, because nobody's ever approached me to do what you do in English and Spanish. That to me was a learning moment for me. And I'm still learning. So I thought she was coming in today. I wanted to talk about it. But maybe we'll get her on the phone.
All right, let's take a commercial break.
Yep.
We come back more with Freddie's mindset that's like squirrel, as all I can tell you for today.
I'm a squirrel?
Squirrel. You
Why
know,
would
you
I
see shiny
be-
objects, and you think those shiny objects are like squirrel?
Okay, I'm a squirrel, but what is that?
I'm the nut.
Shiny?
That's all I can tell you.
You're the nut?
More to come.
No, you're a
888
teacher.
Yes,
You're a teacher. I can't believe you were a
994-4995.
teacher.
Special needs, yes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Melberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Melberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
Give me the mozzarella. 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 Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty Richard Pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Jesse Dreesen.
With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul since you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people. Are the luckiest people in the like a rose under the April snow, and I was always certain love would grow. Love, ageless and evergreen, seldom seen by two. You and I will make each night a first, every day a beginning. Spirits rise and their dance is unrehearsed. They warm and excite us, 'cause we have the brightest love. Two lights that shine as one, morning glory and midnight sun. Time we've learned to sail above. Time won't change the meaning of one love, ageless and ever. on top of the world. I'll meet you, I swear. I'm staking my claim. Remember my name. You're gonna hear from me. Fortune smile on the road before me, and I'm fortune's child. Now listen, world, you can't ignore me. Toss me the moon, 'cause I gotta shine. I'm climbing a cloud and calling it mine. You'll pardon my haste, I've no time to waste. That's how it's gonna be. You'll see, 'cause you're gonna hear from me. I got a song that longs to be played. Raise up my flag, begin my parade. My comet's on fire, I gotta go higher. Start the world over, start coming up clover. That's how it's gonna be. You'll see, yes, you're gonna hear from me. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I love you guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jessie Dressam.
Thank you so much.
And we're back.
How you doing over there?
Hi, Teach.
A whole new perspective on me, right?
I don't know. Between you and Frank, I
We
don't know
had
what's
gym class online over COVID. Yeah, it wasn't so great, was it? My daughter took PE online when she was in high school. It was.
How do you take
It was
PE
so
online?
ridiculous. They were so understaffed, and this was she graduated in
online.
high school in 2010. So you're talking a long time ago.
And look, I'm in
teaching-
gym class.
And they were still understaffed. We had to sign off as parents. We had to sign off on what they did, whether they did jump rope or a project or science or walked around the block. We had to sign off on everything.
I'm in gym class.
I know.
No, this is gym
It's
class.
a thing.
It's ridiculous. That's why I don't.
Is there a way to verify it? Or,
I had to verify it as a parent. It was like on the honor system.
You know that? Do you guys aware?
Yeah, you know how many parents lie for their kids?
No, nobody does.
But I didn't. I
Oh,
actually,
yeah,
I
no, of
actually
course
wanted
not.
her to do it. So she came up with whatever she wanted to do, whether it was yoga or something. She had to do something athletic for me to sign off on it. She couldn't just sit home and watch TV. And that was the deal. Yeah, that was not even a thing either. That was back in the day where I actually didn't let my kids do video games with other people.
You know, when I worked for legal aid in New York City in the court system, every mother that came to me, of the thousands of people that I had to interview for NYU, every mother said, "My son is a good boy. He never does nothing wrong."
Yeah.
Okay.
People are saying that about Jeffrey Dahmer too. I mean, you know, so
Pass the ketchup, but other than that.
How these two work together is going to really be interesting to see how this all comes to fruition.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, I know it. No, we were at an event one time, and we were talking to these two women about, you know, what we do, what they do, and all this other stuff. They actually thought that we were a couple, and they turned to him and they go, "You must be the stabilizing force."
Yeah, that I.
Did they
Yeah,
say
'cause-
how long have you guys been a couple? Have they
No,
ever
they wanted
said?
us to invite them to dinner. They thought that we were going to cook for them and stuff. And we're like, oh, wait, no.
I would have
I
loved
see
to
where this is going.
I would have loved to see Frank's face when that was occurring. That must have been a hoot.
How did you guys meet? Is it through the
Table.
Through the
At the Florida Table,
Florida
yeah.
Table.
Yeah, it's a networking group that I used to run for the film industry down here with a woman by the name of Rose Warner. And our first meeting, we had 8 people. And then it just started growing and growing, and within a couple of years, we were packing like 120 people into this back room in a restaurant, which was crazy. And Frank was pretty much a regular at the meetings.
That's how I started with getting into screenplays, was at the Florida Table.
Yeah.
And then COVID came, and that's what went by the wayside. But now
Yeah.
you guys are on resurgence with the Florida Arts Network.
Well, okay, so Rose wound up getting a very aggressive form of cancer, and then she wound up passing away, and then a couple of months later, COVID hit. So we kind of went dormant for a couple of years. But then when things started opening up again here, started getting all kinds of messages and, you know, hey, Rich, when are you gonna start up the Florida Table again, and all this other stuff. And so Frank and I were talking. We tried this one other thing. What was it called? Arts and Entertainment Entrepreneurial Society.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was it wound up becoming too money-based, and that's definitely not me, right? I'm a creative. What do I know about money, right? And ADHD. What do I know about money, right? And so so we just started announcing, oh, we're back, you know, but we're going to come up with a new name, and so, you know, we came up with the name Florida Arts Network, and so we started doing networking events again, and then in December we became the nonprofit. So and one thing that we were doing a lot was our summer potluck, which is coming up July 30th. I want everybody here to know all about it, and I want everybody to come. And that was a big success. So, you know, we just kind of started growing from there.
Well,
So.
tell us about the summer potluck. I know it's July 30th at Wellaby Park.
Yes, it's at Wellaby Park. We actually have a post on our website, which is floridaartsnetwork.org, and then there's a tab that says fan events. That's got all the information. Got a map.
How
you
many
know, of
people
everything.
usually come?
About 60 or so.
Depends. Yeah, anywhere from 40 to 60 people show
Yeah.
up.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just you know everybody brings whatever they want. We just sit around and shoot the breeze for a couple hours.
Yeah.
If it gets too hot, then we leave. It runs from about 10 in the morning and usually out of there by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, but it is a networking event, and what I'll usually do, and I love to embarrass people at networking events. You know, it's like, okay, stand up. Who are you? What do you do? You know, because I like to know. Well, is anybody working on any projects? And I'll probably have a couple of filmmakers there, talent agent, you know, a couple of people, and you know. One of the directors might stand up and say, okay, yeah, I'm working on this film. I need, you know, a sound guy. I need a gaffer. I need, you know, whatever, you know. And if there's somebody there that can fill that position, then, you know, they make a mental note, you know, oh, I got to talk to this person, you know, afterwards. And so the whole idea is to just keep bringing people together and getting these projects done.
It's funny, I guess, interns coming here, producers as we call them, they all want to be gaffers. What are you good at? I'm a good gaffer. Which is so random, and then you said
Gapper
that.
or Japper?
Gaffer.
Gaffer.
Gapper or
Gaffer.
Gaffer?
A what?
A gaffer. Just what you said.
Oh, yeah.
They all want to be gaffers.
What the hell's a gaffer?
Oh, that's the lighting person.
Why?
The grip guy?
I don't know where that word came from.
And why does everyone want to be one?
I have no idea. Maybe because of the artistry involved. You're helping design the shot, and the lighting. You know, what kind of a gel do I use for this, and you know, how do I light this up? Because when the director and the DP are usually talking together about how they're going to frame the shot and everything else, but then they have to figure out, well, how are we going to light it? What's the mood going to be? And then, you know, then the DP will sit with the gaffer and figure all that stuff
Now,
out.
what does DP stand for?
Director of Photography.
Now, they tell me that that's the main player on any set. Is that true?
Yeah. Okay. So I was talking one time to Joanne Flug, And now this is going back a ways. She worked with Alan Funt. She played Major Dish in the what was that? The MASH movie, or Lieutenant Dish or something. And she was telling me that when they were filming for that movie, she was talking to this guy, you know, and just they hit it off. They were talking and they became very friendly and stuff. And she didn't know this, but it turned out that this was the DP. And so every time she did a scene, if she wasn't lit properly or focused wasn't right or anything like that, he'd say, no, we got to redo this. And so yeah, DP, he's a big shot on the set. Yeah,
that's
what makes you look good.
That's what Clem was saying. He says without a good DP, your movie ain't got a shot. But if you got a good DP, you got a shot at having a good movie. And I'm sitting there and says, DP, I thought the actors made the difference, but I guess there's a whole synchronization that has to happen.
Yeah, the DP has to do, okay, so the actors bring the characters to life, but the DP is in charge of framing the shot, you know, based on the director's vision. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy being on a set. I call it organized chaos.
You guys are taking this vision of the Florida Arts Network, and we're going bigger. We're actually taking this to a show.
Well, yeah, we're doing
the Artist Loft. You and Frank are going to be doing this twice a month.
Yeah. So we're doing the Artist Loft, and we want to not only present Florida Arts Network, right? But we want to use it as a platform for other artists. You know, the artists that you don't hear much about, the people that do the set design, the people that do the costuming.
People behind the camera instead of in front of the camera.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we would definitely have those people as well. But we want to open it up to, you know, all the players. When you're looking at the credits after a movie, how many, like, thousands of names do you see? It's crazy.
And not just movie. We want to open it up to all the arts. The musicians and the dancers, the choreographers. Not just the singers, not just actors.
Yeah.
Not just film industry.
Yeah.
And open it up.
Yeah, and of course you can use all of those in film, but, you know, it's not just focus on film.
So what is going to be the end game of acknowledging, I guess maybe to present ideas that these filmmakers have?
Well, we want to present the ideas that the filmmakers have. We want to give a platform to all the other artists, and we want to bring awareness to the arts, because then, as an organization, we want to go back to the schools or back to the kids and give them opportunities to take part in the arts, because there are a lot of talented kids out there
that they don't get the opportunities.
Yes, they don't have those creative outlets.
What
and
about
so we want
for
to provide
summer?
that for them.
You must be in contact with a lot of kids or organizations that are looking to keep these kids off the streets, to give them opportunities to do things they wouldn't normally get to be doing.
Yeah, we want to do that, and we want to. And here's the thing, all right? Right now we're just getting started, right? We're looking for our first facility, which is crazy because I'm looking at some of these rents for some of these places, $25,000, $30,000, $35,000 a month, you know, plus, you know, utilities and all this other stuff. And I'm like, holy smoke, you know, we're going to need like a $750,000 a year budget for this.
How long have you been in Florida?
Me? I've been down here about 40 years.
Frank, you've been here a long time?
79.
So you would remember there used to be a children's playhouse in East Fort Lauderdale. And it was only for kids theaters.
Fort Lauderdale Children's Theater, yeah.
Is it still around? It's not.
Yeah, it's still
it
around.
Is still around.
Yeah, it's still around.
And that's all they did. I remember when I was growing up. Yeah, I used to do that too.
But hold on, Teach. You know,
I didn't teach it. I was there.
But I got a question, because if you take a facility and it's empty, and you build from the ground up, what would you say? Because part of learning is creating, right? Mm-hmm. Sets, movie sets, clothing, things of that nature. And you start with nothing, and as you bring in the students and you start doing performances, building a set, building a stage if need be.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Can be done. So I would look for something that nobody wants. Much like the rest of my life when I opened up a food business and everything else. I looked for warehouses that nobody wanted.
Yeah, warehouses would be a really good option. Abandoned Walgreens and CVS's, that kind of thing. Something that would allow us to split the place up, because we would have to have certain studios.
How many square feet do you need?
I'm sorry?
How many square foot?
Well, it depends. We want to give ourselves something that's a good size, maybe 15, 20,000 square feet, because we want to use part of it for like green room, for example, lights, cameras, action, where filmmakers can come and film certain scenes and stuff like that, do some studio work. And an editing suite.
So a full production house.
Yeah, I'd like to, well, maybe not
It's not just for the
but something
kids.
where we can teach kids how to do like
But
video
hold
editing.
on. Full production house. You're gonna have a box.
Yeah.
In there, what are you gonna bring equipment? Are you gonna bring lights? Are you gonna bring cameras? Or it's just the box?
Okay, it's just going to be, it would just be the box. We might have some things, we might have a couple of extra lights, tripods, C-stands, that kind of thing. But if somebody wants to film there, then, they would be responsible for, bringing their own equipment. And usually they would already have, they're already going to have their cinematographer, they're already going to have their sound guy, their lighting guy, all that stuff. But now they would have a place where they can actually, a set where they can actually go and do some filming. And it'd be limited, it's not like, Hollywood,
Get him on the
California.
mic.
But
Well, there is a. He's on the mic.
No, because Mike was here.
Oh, no, I know.
Okay.
He's a professor of.
I'm using my theater voice.
Is that what it is? I'm watching the mic here.
The reason I say that is because if you go to Fort Lauderdale, they have the Fort Lauderdale Theater Box, where the guy has a box down there, and it has a green screen, a white screen, and they film in there. I know of that place. I know of another place in Naples. I know about the studio we have down in North Miami. There may be a facilitator to some of the things that they want to do, where you bring in your own stuff.
But we also want to use it for teaching.
Which is fine, which is very fine. I didn't realize the end game of what you wanted to do, but it's a giant control, and then you need parking.
Yeah,
That's your biggest problem.
That's the
Yeah,
other.
that's why we're thinking of maybe an empty Walgreens or a CVS, which has the parking, and it's just a box.
The problem is that those empty Walgreens and CVS, empty Sears. Do you know that Sears went out? There's one Sears in West Palm Beach.
The Sears in Fort Lauderdale, the old school one, it's empty. The one up here is empty.
The one in Pembroke Pines, that's
But
already
those
been
bad
converted into
boys are
something
so
else.
freaking big
Yeah.
that they're going to ask you for large monies. That's the problem with them. They're huge, those boxes. And the landlords would rather keep them empty for whatever reason than to rent them for 1/3 the price.
Because it's a tax write-off. It's a business loss. So if they're making a lot of money on something else, now they've got this loss that they can write off.
Those boxes
the
is
business
huge.
side,
It's
yeah.
really. But I have an idea that I think we should go down to North Miami and show the guys and try to make a deal. I think
You know a guy.
We know a guy.
Yeah.
You guys.
I know a situation that may benefit teaching, filming, the whole nine, green room, makeup room, waiting room, all in one place.
Nice.
Well, that'll work.
I didn't
Yeah.
know you guys were looking for that.
Yeah.
But we will talk. I have an idea.
All right, let's take a commercial break. More to come. Royce has a guest who's been here before. We just got to figure out what show he's been on, because you've been up here and someone was there? Just here. So I got to figure out whose show he was on.
Was it a male or a female? Oh, you know who?
Before COVID.
You know who
blonde.
that was?
Jen?
It could have been, or the other one that we had at the radio station, didn't she?
Becky?
No.
I don't
The
know.
other one that we met at Noah's place.
Before COVID.
Sounds
Jordana?
like Jordana.
I don't know. We'll find out. More to come as you and I are unscripted on air. Stay tuned. More to come. And we'll be right back.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Welcome to a new way to watch your favorite shows. Only at www.amp2.tv/Roku. It's a place filled with music, podcasts, news, and more. Come join us.
If you have diabetes, would you like to eliminate painful finger sticks? Are you injecting insulin multiple times per day? Then you may qualify for a continuous glucose monitor. CGMs monitor blood sugar using a small patch placed on your upper arm or abdomen, and they use your smartphone to accurately monitor your blood sugar levels. Stop pricking and start scanning. Plus, CGMs are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. They can be shipped free of charge to your door. Call today to see if you qualify.
Todo Bello Balloons is a business that was born out of a passion for creating unique and beautiful balloon designs, including balloon bouquets, balloon arches, balloon columns, and more. We specialize in creating unique and beautiful balloon designs that bring your dreams into reality. We believe that balloons have the power to bring people together and create lasting memories, and we are honored to be part of that experience. Contact us and we will bring happiness to your celebrations with our balloons.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Do you want the opportunity to have a TV show or podcast? Now, at Amp Media Productions, you can host your very own visual broadcast anywhere around the world. With our talented group of creators, we will provide you with show elements, board operations, and any on-screen visuals you'd like to showcase. All you must do is log onto your computer and communicate with your viewers. Contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422 or email hello@amp2.tv to start your own show today.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
never thought I'd ever make it. I can't believe the hell I've been through. Couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't know what to do. I've been through the rain, I've been through the fire. There was something that I never knew. I had an angel on my shoulder with a plan for me divine. Must be an angel on my shoulder who was right there all the time. Must be an angel. This world can be so cold and so heartless. It's hard to find your way alone. Used to run so fast, no one could catch me. I couldn't find my way back home. Well, I've laughed, I've cried, I've almost died, but my broken heart just never knew. I had an angel on my shoulder with a plan for me divine. Got to be an angel on my shoulder who was right there all the time. Everybody needs someone to cling to with an unchanging love. I finally found a hand to hold on to, a shelter to run to. Now I see he's watching over me. Got an angel on my shoulder with a plan for me divine. Got to be an angel on my shoulder who was right there, right there, right there, right there all the time. Got to be an angel, an angel, an angel, an angel who was right there all the time.
Look at that.
And we're back.
Nothing says love like a cup of chocolate, right? How do you like that? Take single barrel bourbon. There you go.
Or a single barrel bourbon with a piece of chocolate in it.
We might have to open that up tonight. It's been a long time.
The what?
The bourbon from JC's husband.
That's gone.
And JC. No, it's not.
Yes, it
It's
is,
in my
me.
zone.
It's gone.
Where's my key, by the way?
With your bourbon, it's gone.
You
I
lost
had
the
it.
key, too?
I kept the bottle in the box, but it's empty.
Did you lose the key too?
No.
Where it's not here though.
It's around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bottle is with her teaching degree somewhere. You know, just
I can't believe that she's actually as a teacher. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I wanted to keep this.
Nobody
he
told
doesn't even know
me.
what to say to me today. Now he's just at a loss for words.
He probably thinks you're judging him.
Just bring her an apple.
There you go.
I'm shocked.
You just never know. You know, the river runs deep.
You're not a teacher, right?
I assume because she said that she has a
You assume she was a teacher? Are you a teacher?
No.
Oh.
She's a coach.
Because I'm going to tell you, if you were a teacher, I'm running out this building, I'm done. I'm surrounded all my life surrounded by teachers.
Roush, you're going to head over and discuss music teaching and therapy at the other side of the theater. Royce, you have a mic?
Yes, I have.
Our Turkish
Hello.
producer, we call her Hot Wheels, went to, I think, a 4th of July barbecue and comes back in on yesterday with 3 people to interview.
Anytime, everywhere.
Anytime, ever. She's always working.
Yeah.
You want to make the introductions for your guest?
So he's a music therapist and a film musician. He did really good movie music before. And what you want to speak about?
Thank you.
Well, welcome back, John, because you've been here before. We just got to figure out where.
Yeah, just before COVID, what I remember, I sit on the same chair over there. Yeah, time passed so quick. Thank you for inviting me, by the way, first of all. I'm here. Why I'm here, I don't know. There's
Royce
no
said come,
coincidence.
And when Royce says come, everyone says okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I believe that everything has a reason. So that the reason I told this to tell this, you know. Yeah, I'm here. I'm a musician first of all, since when I was 5, and then last 30 years I just more focused on music therapy, because how I switch it, I can say I feel so bad one day, and someone introduced me to a
Let's get you closer to the mic.
therapist, a music therapist, which I was not believing, and I decided to take Xanax or Prozac, because I feel that I was so tired working like 20 hours, music, you know, the film industry. Whenever you ask when you want this, they say yesterday. So years and years I worked like a workhorse, and then one day they say burnout syndrome, maybe you heard about that. So then someone made me a test, listening test actually. Just ordinary listening test from my both ears and this bone, conduction bone, which we also hear from here. I want to show you to the camera. So she told everything about me, my situation. I said, how come?
All from listening? All from this test?
Yeah, exactly. Huh. It was a system invented around the First World War by a French doctor, Dr. Tomatis. He also inventor of the listening test machines, which we still using. So he figured out that it's totally scientific, medical, nothing hocus pocus. The thing is, we have a basic nerve from ear to going to intestine system. We call it nervus vagus nerve. It's thick like my thumb. It's connected from ear, eye, from our 5 senses, and goes through here, passes behind the heart, and ends up in our intestine system. This nerve, nervus vagus, is connecting our sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve system, which is, the control and uncontrol. So this nerve, by using this nerve, actually, he is from ear and eye. He just want to reach all our organs. So how this system works, actually.
Now they say, because there's a lot of coaching programs now to help people with the vagus nerve, because it's so constricted that people aren't breathing right, they have anxiety. Trust me, I've looked into this. I've even signed up for a few of them online about breathing, yoga, positioning, listening, and breath work, because this vagus nerve is so important. It controls everything, but we don't even pay attention to it.
It's, you know, our body is actually is a machine. It's a biomechanic machine. So everybody thinks that, but when I'm saying I'm a sound healer, let's say, we don't like to use healer, because to tell this, most part of the world, if you are not a medical doctor, you cannot, by law, you cannot use this word. But when you go to India, for instance, there is no modern medical study. All universities, when someone says doctor, I'm a doctor in India, mostly they mean they are Vedic doctor, traditional doctors. And they heal. They are therapists also.
I mean, you've studied and been certified all over the world in music, in shamanic healing, and frequency. You've been trained with the best.
Yeah, I'm already 67, and I don't want to spend my 1 millisecond for nothing to watching TV. Yeah, I study with a. You remember the De Gaulle, French general, you know, General De Gaulle, the president of France in the Second World War, right? I worked with his healer. He was a Armenian. At that time they called bioenergist, actually. And then I work with lots of people, from Deepak Chopra, you know, he's a very trendy guy, to Emoto, the Japanese.
Deepak also? Remember we talked yesterday about the pendulum, and I told you Deepak was.
Yeah, Deepak is a good promoter. You know, he's a company right now. He's in everywhere. There's a Chopra Center in the world. No, he has a big missioner for sure, definitely.
And you're working with children now, or special needs?
Nowadays, I focus on more cancer, because I have lots of. I made a program actually by myself, based on the teachings I had. Because I'm also a musician, I made some, I can say, songs. I share it on Instagram, and I have like around more than 50,000 followers. Which I figure out that there were lots of cancer people who are really start to, you know, thanking to me. Yes, please.
Yeah. So I saw this video one time, based on some experiments that Tesla did with how different cancers respond differently to certain musical frequencies.
Yes.
How
Yeah.
How does that work?
There's such frequencies like 528 hertz, which most of my followers are working on it. This frequency, 528 hertz, is the frequency of our RNAs and DNAs. There's a muff, there's a cow, like a skin around the RNA, the protector.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything is measurable right now. We have very high technology. We can measure every frequency, every nano, theta, whatever you name it. So they figure out that the 528 hertz is the frequency of our genetic, actually it's our genetic, I can say, protector. There is one example, one experiment they made from a Canadian couple, from which university, I don't want to, you know, I don't remember the name. I'm not good with the names and numbers. So they made the experiment in the Gulf accident, you know, the petroleum, the oil leak.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
They put they send a sonar and give 528 hertz, 25 hours. 24 hours, sorry. So after 24 hours, this area, like 30 feet or whatever, it's all clean, and the fishes started to come, and, you know, life started to grow again.
That's amazing.
There's such, I don't want to extend right now, but there's such experiments from different universities, made by different universities. research, and I'm more focused on these frequencies. Yeah, you're right. Tesla was aware of.
You're helping cancer patients because we talked about this, different alternatives to healing. But it takes that face-to-face and that the knowledge of what you're doing to help. So how are you doing this with the different patients?
First of all, thank you. First of all, what is cancer? Cancer is not for me, of course. For me, cancer is not an illness. Cancer is a situation right now. Think about in every 21 day, our cells are dying and they produce new cells. So 21 days later, I am not the same physically. Physically, I'm not the same me, John, because all my cells will be dying. So all my cells are the new cells. So if we change the main computer perceptions, if we change our thoughts, if you change our approaches to life, if you stop judging and assuming, and if we just cut our contact from the collective consciousness, which our collective human being collective consciousness says, now you're this and this situation, I'm not giving the name as you see, this situation is going to kill you. If you say no. Last year I had a follower, she was just 31 years old, and grade 4 breast cancer, which was negative, which negative, there's two types, positive and negative. Negatives are mostly more, I don't want to use the word difficult, but they say, the doctors say, which is true, of course. They work more on that. So she's still alive. She was grade 4, and the doctor said, you're done. 1-2 months. Since 2 years. And think about it, she's only 31, which is, you know, if we are younger, we produce more cells, and it's more, possibly, they produce more bad cells in their body. So, first of all, I also study.
John, just get closer to your mic.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Also, I just study and found in Turkey quantum coaching system from basically from United States. So we have to change our mind first, mindset.
Carolina, this is right up your alley. Yeah. You want to grab your mic? Because this is everything that you do.
Yeah, totally.
Through your coaching.
Yeah. I totally agree, because the mindset is everything starts with a thought form, and then it will physicalize. So if you're able to have the right mindset, you will have the right manifestation. So there are so many ways to do that, and that's one of that. So
Look, it lights
I
her
love that
up.
approach. Yes.
You know, this is why I hate to go to see my doctor, because I'm walking into a building where there's nothing but illness and the interpretation of illness. So I walk in there and it bothers me. And if he says to me, you know, you're sick, then I get sick. And because I'm beginning to believe what he's telling me. And we had this story. I made a mistake. So you don't have the illness, and you were depressed and sick, and you made yourself sicker because of what they tell you. And then he says, no, I made a mistake, and there was nothing wrong with you. I mean, it's your environment is what's going to create your end game on this thing. And I worked with a guy where we did sound therapy for seniors. And these seniors were in wheelchairs. And they're rolling them around like they're not even in the room. And they would talk to them about them and their families where they were sitting in the room. And I would say to them, you know, they can hear you. Oh, no, they can't hear us anymore. I said, okay. So we go to the room, and the guy starts playing the music, and the foot begins to move, or the hand begins to move. I said, really? They can't hear you? Trust me, they can hear you. So there's all sorts of stuff that we still don't know what's going on with us. And we're here looking at one another. You were a teacher. It's like ringing in my ears.
They're screaming at you, aren't they?
But it's
You should
amazing.
pay more attention to her.
But it's amazing because no matter what language or what country you're from, sound therapy, and it does begin here. Everything begins.
Well, music goes across any country, any language. It's the frequency. Even
Yeah.
if you don't understand the words, you hear the music, you feel the tone, you know the sense of it. As a composer, you have to work with this all the time.
Yeah, I can add one more thing. Mozart music, when I say this, I immediately remember Mozart music because there were lots of books about Mozart compositions. His music is, they say, hallucinative because it always goes different ways. So it stops you thinking. Boom, pum, 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 ping, pum, pum, pum. It goes on everywhere around, you know. You cannot guess where the music will go. So there was another experiment about Mozart music. They play Mozart music in every culture. And everybody said, I'm relaxed. So Dr. Tomatis used this as reference. His system, which I'm just switched because he just passed away and his family make it a business, which I don't like, because a doctor must be, first priority must be not money. Economically, I'm not working with them anymore. I don't want to use their names and because trademark. But the thing is, this system uses Mozart music, 99%. There, Dr. Tomatis add frequencies, several frequencies, under Mozart concertos. For instance, violin is good for heart. It's around 2000 hertz. Low frequencies are good for intestine system. If we need grounding, we have to listen bass sound like boom, boom, boom. For instance, teenagers, mostly they listen very loud and very bass, right? And we go there wrong. Please shut it down. Well, it's just, no, it's good. I always say to my patients, leave it, because the bass, they need bass frequencies to be grounded. Because the teen years, they need grounding. So please don't touch the teen guys, which is like 13 to even nowadays 19, 20, So let them listen very loud and very bass. It protects them to depression.
I think you were on Faith Washington's show.
Me?
Yes, she was a
it
blonde.
Faith Washington? Blonde with long hair, long
tall.
blonde hair?
I think so.
Yeah, Faith Washington show.
Because she always talks about the 528 frequency,
Yeah.
getting into that theta meditative state.
Yeah, I have 528 for free. I don't want to say millions, but lots of people trust this, my version.
How do people find your version of your music? Royce, you know?
You can, Instagram.
Okay.
Ken Hakgüder. So it's for free. Everybody can join, and there's also different frequencies. But the thing is, mostly it's Turkish because my followers are mostly Turkish. So I'm just working with a young lady to convert it to a English version of the website.
Nice.
So,
You want to take a commercial break?
yeah.
All right, we're going to take
remember those Hallmark cars you open that has music in them?
Yes.
Actually, excuse me, before you close, I brought with me, maybe you know what I was thinking? I would like to put the music under this 528 hertz, which really we can send this frequency and make people healthy.
That would be
While we were
fantastic.
talking, it's very, it's with me. I can give it. Later on, you can maybe share it.
All right, so let's take a commercial break. We'll get it from you. We'll load it up, and we'll play it in a few minutes.
Perfect.
All right, more to come. It's got to be her show. Stay tuned, more to come. It's all about frequency, sound healing, the arts. You know, it always comes together, mindset. Isn't it amazing how it always comes together
And you
here?
saw that we got that email.
Yes, more
It
to
does
come.
work.
Stay tuned. And I'm a teacher. I used to be anyway.
I'm
Why do you think,
shocked.
what do I do here every day? I do not know. We'll be right back. Every day.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Has your heater or air conditioner busted? Appliance broken? Computer crashed? Then you need an ARW home warranty. Home system and appliance repairs and replacements can cause stress and cost you thousands of dollars per year. With an A-plus BBB rating and a top-rated home warranty company on Consumer Affairs and Trustpilot, ARW Home provides superior service, featuring the industry's lowest service call fee. ARW Home has warranty plans that cover your kitchen and laundry appliances, heating and air conditioning systems, electrical and plumbing systems, and much more. Call 800-235-1584 to customize your plan. Plus, ARW has partnered with Azurion to protect your new and used tablets, laptops, TVs, and other home tech from accidental damage and wear and tear. All plans come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-235-1584 now for a free quote. That's 800-235-1584.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-796-1182. 800-796-1182. 800-796-1182. That's 800-796-1182.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-485-8801. 800-485-8801. That's 800-485-8801.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
This portion of today's show is brought to you by the Brooklyn Cafe Show Coffee, made with organic Arabica beans.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
says we'll never part. Can't you see that we can spend eternity? Our lives were really meant to be together from the start. No one else could fill my life with ecstasy. No one else, it seems, could make me care. What is left is just a memory that's so empty and so unfair. Melody, I'll write another melody, and this time from the start you'll see I'll write it from the heart. And words that say, come to me, stay with me. Won't you stay with me? No one else could fill my life with ecstasy. No one else, it seems, could make me care. What is left is just a memory that's so empty and so unfair. Melody, I'll write another melody, and this time from the start you'll see I'll write it from the heart. And words that say, come to me. Words that say, come to me, come to me, stay with me. Won't you stay with me? Stay with me.
And when we're back,
What do you got over there?
I ask AI for controversial questions between men and women.
Oh. What's the most controversial question between men and women? It's either about sex or money.
No.
Only.
No,
It's the only thing it could
it
be.
says, is chivalry outdated and perpetuating gender stereotypes? Or is it an important aspect of respect and courtesy?
That's interesting.
I only do interesting questions.
Interesting. I think we have some of John's music there. You're going to upload and play. So you use some of it. You're going to convert it to English.
He just
sent it over.
downloaded 2 versions, which
Okay.
is kind of meditation. It's a guiding meditation, which it makes you. Because I also work hypnotherapy since years. For me, the best therapy is hypnotherapy. If we are not taking any pills, kind of. Because as I mentioned before, we have to change our approach to our lives. To make this, we have to cancel our mind. Go to deep mind, which is subconscious, and see what's happening in subconscious. So hypnosis is the best way to straight reach yourself. And do your treatments over there. But you can also, which I made, I had 2 operations with self-hypnosis. We can actually, the first doctor of ours are us. The thing is, because of collective consciousness, human collective consciousness impulses, like you are cancer, you're gonna die. Who knows?
You know who's got a great mindset is the young woman sitting next to you. She's always has a smile on her face, right?
Because if I don't smile, I don't feel well. If you smile, you feel well every time.
She's always happy. And she came to us her first week in her wheelchair. And then her parents invited me to Shabbat dinner about 2 weeks later. And she kept saying, I can walk, I can do things. And then she served me dinner. And her father said, she hasn't served anyone dinner in 27 years. He said, so now you're going to be serving dinner. And now she comes in
And
here
now
with
I
her
am.
walker and no more chair. But she always has a smile on her face.
Because I think if you think positive, then you will become positive and you will live your life in a positive way.
And you've been through a lot of therapy, I know, since Turkey to here. Did you do any mindset therapy also?
No, I haven't done any mindset therapy, but our therapists are physical therapists, always like a friend to us, so they're not psychotherapists or something like that, but they're always having us like a friend, and they're not treating us like a patient.
They treat
So
you like a
it's
friend.
like a good thing for us. So I have a friend, I will say, she's in Turkey right now, and she was my physiotherapist for like I don't know, 17 years.
Wow.
Since I was 3 years old. She's like my aunt. She knows everything, and we're stay in touch until here, and we're still talking on the phone every time. Like, we're not just like a patient and a physiotherapist or something. All of
Mindset's
the people
important.
around me like that.
And your
Because-
parents are like that too. They're always smiling. Your sister always smiling.
Because we have to be positive. If we are positive, all the people around us are positive. If we don't like somebody, like if we see somebody is negative to us, we immediately get out from their life or get them out from our life.
Wow.
We need positive people.
Makes a big difference.
It is. And positive mindset comes in many, many different forms. Music, comedy, going to the movies. You know, sometimes people, my grandparents used to like to walk in thunderstorms and showers. I guess they grew up in the rainforest in Puerto Rico, so they were sort of had
That's
triggers
cool.
for them. You know, the frequency, to hit that deal, to hit that high note, for lack of a better word. There's a lot of different ways of getting there. Staying there, and that's the trick.
Right.
It isn't about getting there. It's about staying there. If you can stay there, the more you stay there, the more gifted you are. That's why gifted people try to figure out, well, why is they so gifted? And they live in that zone. They live in that mindset, in that frame. And it doesn't mean that you're born 6'3", that you are gifted. There's all sorts of things going on to get you there. So it's not the physical ability, it's the mental ability of getting there and then keeping it. And
That's what's so
tough.
special about the studio, is you never know where the inspiration is going to come at any minute of the day, right? You think you bring a guest, you think you know where it's going to come from, and then we got a 4'10" little dynamo over there who brings in great guests and talks about positivity and inspires everybody.
If you sit still enough, long enough, and you come into this house, and then you look around to the parts that make it up, you'll understand what frequency is all about. Because you never, like today, I never saw coming, what I've seen coming, and the things that people are writing, and the things that people are asking, all of a sudden is different from yesterday.
I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher. Unbelievable, but I'm still stunned by that. But the object of the game is not getting there; it's staying there. You know, it's like Frank's books. You know, you get inspired by reading some of the things that he talks about.
Oh my gosh!
You look at some of the things that he puts on his social media. You look at the way he derives you to be your best by asking certain questions. And,
Comes in your dreams, all kinds of things.
that again, I don't know who you are anymore, but besides
Let me
that,
introduce myself.
Besides
the teacher.
Besides that, it's an interesting. I wanted to ask Frank about your perspective of what you heard today, because like always, he's the Mr. Quiet in the room. What do you think about frequencies?
Everybody has their own aura, and everybody has the same frequency. I mean, everything in the universe has its own frequency. We all have our own energy. We all have our own frequency. So, if you can equate, or if you can relieve your frequencies and ease the frequency in your body, that's it. Because
So
everything vibrates at a certain frequency in the universe.
So getting people to vibrate to a successful frequency, is that the name of the game?
You have to, right.
Excuse me, but may I add something to you, please? You said everything has a certain frequency. For me, everything is frequency. So everything, because of their vibration creates a reality, which we call three-dimensional reality. So nowadays we start to talk about parallel universe, you know. So in our universe, which we call reality, which is actually our perception, there's no even such thing, reality, because me for you is different than the way she sees me, right? Shortly. So vibration and change is the only reality. Yeah, thank you. I just want to add this.
But does it become a reality when you acknowledge it, or is it a constant and you have to catch up?
Yes.
Or which is it? Is it always there?
It's always there.
And we catch up and acknowledge it?
It's always there, but you have to tune in.
But then you have to realize you're tuning in. You have to make the effort.
You have to make the effort.
Or you have to tune yourself to
You have
there.
to tune yourself to
such frequency.
To a frequency.
Well, that's why there are teachers and there are students in the game.
Yeah, what they say, and then the students teach.
You know, take advantage of the fact of what's going on around you, because somewhere around you there's a clue to everything that you need to know. It's always been there. I was taught that at a young age. And a lot of people have argued with me until they can't argue anymore, because maybe that's the difference. Maybe they're arguing for the wrong points at the end of the day.
Someone sees on the truth, bless you. Yes,
All right.
100%. All right, Royce, you have John's Instagram?
Yes.
You want to give it out?
I just sent you.
Oh, you sent it to me. All right, so we'll post John's Instagram and we'll get that music out for everyone to hear. And we're starting the Artist Loft on Thursday night at 5:30.
5:30.
You guys are going to introduce the first show, just the two of you.
Just the two of us, to let everybody know who we are and what we're doing and where we're going.
And you have an event at the Movies of Del Rey when in
October
10th?
October 20th?
20th.
I think it's October 20th.
I want to start building the momentum. If anything if we learn anything about the July 21st thing, it's never too early to start promoting.
I'm gonna be there. I'll be on the 21st, so I'm gonna.
We're gonna push
If you
it
need
out.
me to do anything, I'll get there early.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it and talk to people about it and everything else.
And what's happening with your book? I saw the cover. I see that's
That
on
book
its
is
way.
the new book is out.
It's out.
It's on Amazon. I don't have my copies yet. They're on order.
Ooh, okay.
But the book is
Well,
out.
that went through the
Is
speed
this
zone.
the fastest turnaround
That's
you've
the
done?
fastest turnaround.
Wow.
The book is out on Amazon as print and ebook.
And it's called?
Memoir of a Soldier of Mary and the Archangels.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
It's my experiences, how I ended up being a writer, and how I got to that point through the experiences I received at a Marian apparition site and what I was gifted with the Archangels.
You want to read it? You're going to read it. I know. You're going to fight me for a copy. We'll have to get copies on Amazon.
No, I'm going to get the copy first. Because when you get it, I never see it again.
I know. It's with the it goes in the Dawn Zone. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you all for joining us, John and Richard, Frank, Carolina, and of course Chris. We appreciate all your help to our crew. Nice job, you guys, today. And tonight we're here all night. We've got
Not all night.
We've
We're
got
here.
The View at 6 o'clock. We've got All County You and Your Doctor. We've got Making Money with Laura Sanders. And then J.C. Dreesen Show, all on True Oldies tonight starting at 6 o'clock.
So we'll be here till 8, not all night.
All right, have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.